Time, Dr. Jyoti Jeetun, Minister for Financial Affairs and Economic Planning. Thank you for the time. And this interview takes place for Sidhant Sibal of WION. My first question to you is: how do you see the India-Mauritius ties evolving since you have taken office?
See, our ties between Mauritius, the people of Mauritius, and the people of India, and both our countries goes back to several centuries. As you know, the vast majority of the people from Mauritius originally come from various parts of India. So we have very deep-rooted ancestral ties with India, cultural ties with India, uh, ties of language as well. You know, we speak Bhojpuri, we speak English, and a number of other regional languages are present in Mauritius. What we are actively working since this new government came in place, uh, and since I took over the Ministry of Financial Services and Economic Planning, is really to deepen the economic ties and work around what is a shared philosophy of mutual benefit for the prosperity of the people of both our countries. And this is where my visit today, this week to India, comes within that spirit of how to expand our horizon on the economic front as well.
How do you see India's outreach to Africa, especially when it assumed or received membership of the African Union in the G20 during India's presidency?
That was a momentous moment, really, groundbreaking, historical moment for the African Union. It's good to remember that Mauritius is part of a number of African and regional corporations. Mauritius is a member of African Union, of COMESA, of SADC, and so we have these ties, these historical ties with India, and we could be a bridge to Africa, to where we are, all our brothers and sisters in Africa. We are part of Africa, and we are working actively to build this partnership with all African countries.
Where do you see the India Mauritius FTA doing? How do you see those talks happening?
So the CESPA, as you know, gives access to a number of products in Mauritius and in India, to both countries. Uh, the CESPA with regard to trade in goods is operational, whereas with regards to trade in services is being fine-tuned. So some work is still going on to finalize the trade in services, but we are very confident that we are going to finalize that as well very soon, because that is also going to be a cornerstone for my ministry, which is financial services.
Thank you. What new anti money laundering measures is Mauritius implementing to prevent its financial system from being used for channeling black money into India?
Very important question, really, in today's day and age. It's, increasingly we have to be very careful that our jurisdictions are not used for illicit terrorism or any sort of illegal financing instruments. So Mauritius is worse on the on the EU grey list. Uh, a few years ago, we've come out of it, and we are today uh, compliant to all the 40 recommendation, compliant or largely compliant to all 40 FATF recommendations. And we are every day working through all our systems, all our procedures, all our institutional, to make the integrity of our system robust. So because uh, people out there, they are always trying to outsmart the system. So you have to be constantly looking at the system to make sure that they are not coming up with something else to beat you. Uh, so we are constantly working on. It's an important pillar of a financial services center like Mauritius to be very, very almost paranoid about, AML/CFT, counterterrorism measures.
Just an added question to that as an addendum, I would say, how is Mauritius ensuring this full compliance with the amended India-Mauritius DTAA to curb tax evasion and round tipping of funds?
Very good question again. We have worked a lot to make sure that structures that are based in Mauritius can demonstrate substance. As you know, the DTA with India was amended back in 2016. This has some impact on the trade that was in services that was happening between both our countries. And my mission is really to make sure that we work to grow this as India is growing, that we can also grow with India, while also ensuring that whatever is going through Mauritius as a structure is not just for tax purposes, but that they can actually demonstrate substance. And in that context, there are some discussion going on at the moment between our countries that I hope will be finalized again soon.
What steps are being taken to enhance transparency? Since you have already mentioned that quite a lot in terms of Mauritius's financial transactions to address India's concerns about illicit fund flows.
As I said earlier, we are really working very hard to make sure that all our institutions, all our regulatory and supervisory systems are working. There are a number of, we have a core group, a national committee on AML/CFT, we have the Financial Services Commission, we have the Financial Crime Commission, we have the Financial Intelligence Unit. So a number of the 12 agencies that are working together in Mauritius to make sure that we are constantly on the watch and fighting this battle.
And how is Mauritius cooperating with Indian agencies such as the Enforcement Directorate to share information on black money investigations?
As Prime Minister Modi had a state visit for our Independence Day in March this year, and an MOU was signed between Prime Minister Modi and our Prime Minister Dr. Nabin Ramgoolam for between the Enforcement Directorate and our Financial Crime Commission. And that really lays the basis of collaboration and cooperation between our the agencies to make sure that there's intelligence sharing, there's capacity building, there's training happening. So a number of collaborative efforts between the two enforcement directorates.
One last question, since you're here for attending the India Africa Summit by CII, Financial Summit. Also, please tell us about your trip overall here in India and who are you meeting and how are your discussions happening?
Always a pleasure to be in India. As I said earlier, we have emotional and cultural links to India. So it's not just about business; it's also about the food, the atmosphere, the people, the culture. So you feel very much at home. I have had very constructive meetings with people, government of India. Also, some very constructive meeting with private sector from India and from African countries. And our mission is really to use these 3 days and do as much networking as possible and tell people about our story.
Thank you so much for your time, madam.
Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure. Always a pleasure.